Hello, my name is Dr. Brooke Goldner from Goodbye Lupus, and I'm here to talk to you today about what you may have been seeing in the headlines in your news app or online lately, that there may be a new cure for lupus. I wanted to talk to you about what they actually discovered, what that really means in terms of lupus treatment today, and I'm going to give you ways to help you start feeling better right now from lupus, even while they're still working on this data. So what did they discover? So while there have been a lot of headlines indicating there might be a cure for lupus, that the root cause of lupus has been discovered, that's not actually what has been discovered. So previous research had already discovered that a type of immune cell called a T peripheral helper cell is higher in people with autoimmune antibodies and in inflamed tissue. What these researchers now discovered is that there's an abnormal receptor, immune receptor, that is causing or likely causing this increase in those T peripheral helper cells. So what the breakthrough actually is a breakthrough in our understanding of the disease. But it is not a treatment. It is not a cure. It is just a new understanding that may potentially lead to new treatments, but is not currently being used for that. It is a new breakthrough in our understanding of the disease. And it's upsetting for me when the news will take a new breakthrough in understanding in the genetic world and then turn it into media that maybe we already have a cure, when that's not the case. And any of you who follow me know that I am all about hope. We need to have hope. Hope is how I survived many years of having lupus myself. But there's a difference between breakthroughs in scientific understanding and breakthroughs in treatment, and definitely in cures. As you may have known, just if you've been alive for over a couple decades or twice that or more like I have, that oftentimes we will get breakthroughs in research that don't necessarily lead to breakthroughs in treatment. So while hope is important, that is not actually what happened here. What do we not know? Well, one, we don't know if that abnormality is consistently seen in all people with lupus. Number two, we don't know yet whether that will lead to a viable treatment, or whether or not this kind of treatment that actually addresses this particular defect in the pathology or pathophysiology of lupus, whether or not that treatment can cause side effects that would be tolerable in people. So we don't have enough information yet, and we definitely don't have a treatment. So while it's good information, and I applaud and I'm excited about every breakthrough in lupus understanding, it's not yet a cure. I was happy to be able to comment on that. I was asked by Fox News National to comment on the research, and what I said was that I am very excited to see new breakthroughs in lupus research. However, this is not yet something we can use as a treatment or a potential cure. When it comes to lupus research, there have been billions of dollars spent in this area, and we have many different types of treatments that have happened over time, but we do not yet have anything we could consider to be a cure, but treatments that help people survive. So what do we know? Well, number one, we do have treatments. I myself was diagnosed with lupus over 30 years ago at the age of 16. And if it wasn't for medical treatments, I wouldn't be alive talking to you right now. I had kidney failure from lupus. I had blood clots that were causing mini strokes. And thanks to years of chemotherapy, high dose steroids, and other medical treatments like blood thinners, I survived the disease and was able to go to college, go to medical school, and be able to treat people as I am today. However, it never cured me. It just kept me alive, and I was very grateful for that. It's one of the reasons why I went into medicine to begin with. What actually helped me recover was a change I made in my nutrition. So while I was diagnosed with lupus over 30 years ago and had it for 12 years straight with chronic disease and a lot of suffering that came with it, over 18 years ago, I changed my diet. And because of that, I have been completely symptom-free off all medications ever since, even through pregnancy and birth. So what changed for me as both someone who's had the disease and as a scientist and a physician was I realized how important it was to focus on the potential for nutrition to be an underlying cause for the development of the pathology of lupus. You have to understand, and one of the things I commented on the Fox News article was that people with lupus, if they were born with this abnormality in their receptor and in their immune function, they would have those symptoms from birth. And so what they still haven't addressed yet is what triggers this abnormality to happen. And from my work, I have understood that nutrition is one of those main causes or triggers. The breakthrough I had in my own health led me to refocus my work and research on understanding how I could apply the same protocols to other folks to see if I could get the same results, and we have. And once we were able to successfully reproduce those results, not only in lupus, but in other autoimmune diseases, made the decision to release that protocol to the public. I wrote it into books like Goodbye Lupus that you could read for free in a library or get for cheap on Amazon. I do free classes online. I come online every week as much as I can to give free coaching to the public. Why? Because unlike a lot of those researchers working on potential understandings or cures for lupus, I myself suffered with the disease, and I know how urgent it is to be able to help people and to help people at no cost as much as possible to make sure that they get well. I have published case series. My most recent publication showed women that were able to reverse both Sjogren's and lupus that were highly symptomatic on medications. They all became symptom-free within 2 to 6 weeks, and they all remained symptom-free taken off their medications by their own rheumatologist, remained symptom-free, a couple of them for over 6 years with no relapse, having changed their diets. I've also published case series in reversing lupus nephritis, lupus having caused failure of the kidneys, and in one person, doubling her kidney function in less than 6 weeks and getting taken off of the transplant list and being able to keep her own kidneys. We've been able to reproduce those results in people we've never met. Because I've released my protocol to the public, I see people constantly posting online how they've reversed their diseases and gotten healthy without ever meeting me, using free resources or my books or posts online to be able to do this. One person who just did this is someone named Maria, who I saw posted online that she was able to reverse her kidney failure and get into complete remission with lupus on her own using my free information. I'll read what she posted online. So she was diagnosed with lupus in 2007, had numerous flares and hospitalizations. Her kidneys stopped working and her GFR, her measurement of kidney function, was down to 7. Well, after trying every kind of treatment, including chemotherapy, she was told she needed new kidneys. She started my protocol a couple months ago, and what she posted online is, my blood work came in today and my creatinine dropped to 2.5 from 6.69 and increased GFR from 23.9 from 7. I am officially off dialysis. I no longer need a kidney transplant. Also, my dsDNA are in normal range as my C3 and C4. Lupus is in remission also. I messaged her and today she told me my GFR is already at 26 now. And this post was from only a week ago. So the nutrition information that I teach now actually works today. And I want to make sure that even while we wait for the breakthroughs that happen in research that may be able to give you an infusion or treatment or medication that can help with the progression of this disease, that doesn't make you stop taking advantage of what we already know. This is not the first time that we've discovered in medicine and in health that nutrition is the cause of disease. There was a disease that killed over 2 million people in the 1900s that made people so sick they would die after bleeding from their nose and their mouth. It was called scurvy. And it was discovered that the cause of scurvy was a lack of eating fresh fruits and vegetables. So what did they do? Well, the Vikings grew cabbage and the British would provide citrus juices to sailors. That's why they became called the limeys by Americans, but they found a way to include nutrition to prevent and reverse this disease. Nowadays, I think if scurvy was first discovered now, people would say, no, nutrition isn't a cure. Let's wait for the researchers to find a treatment. We have not just found this to be true in things like scurvy, but we found it true in other areas. If you follow my channel, you've seen me talk about recent publications and research showing that the addition of processed foods causes people to die of diseases all across the board, from metabolic diseases like heart diseases and diabetes, as well as autoimmune diseases, by over 50%. Previous research has shown the same to be true from meat and dairy. We have the research in place that shows that changes in our diet is causing the progression of diseases. The research that they've shown that the rise of autoimmune diseases across the world, including in places that never existed before, like the Middle East, has been driven by the rise and spread of the Western diet. This information is available, and yet it's not being capitalized on. Why? Perhaps because there's not much money to be made by people going to the supermarket and getting better. But we need to take the information we have. Listen, it's part of the human condition that we have constantly tried to use technology and innovation to replace common sense and good, healthy living. We've done that in many different ways. We tried to replace breast milk with processed baby formulas and found there's been health issues with babies where their immune systems don't function the way that they could. We have replaced healthy fruits and vegetables for processed items that are quicker and easier to get to into our diets, but yet causes disease. And this is one other area where we're waiting for medical technology to fix a problem with our diets and lifestyles. So I want to be able to continue to help people understand this. So I'm going to keep giving you information and coaching as much as I can to help you get there. So number one, make sure you click the link in my profile if you're on Instagram, or the link below if you're in YouTube or Facebook, to make sure you get access to all my resources, including my case series if you want to read them. Number two, I'm going to make sure that my classes, which I have online classes that have helped people all over the world reverse their diseases and get healthy, I'm going to put them online for free so you can access them and watch them and learn how to get healthy, all for free. And as I have been for over a year now, I'm going to continue to come online every week as much as possible to give you free coaching to the public, because what I know to be true from my own personal experience is that you can feel better now. You can get healthy today, going to the supermarket and living a healthier life. I'm not saying not to use medications. As I said, they saved my life many times back when I needed them. But I don't want you to wait for some cure in technology and use that as a reason to stall or to not take action on just living a better, healthier life. I don't know anyone who regrets eating healthier. And scary to think about giving up the stuff that makes you sick. Maybe you're addicted to it, but the benefits so outweigh overcoming those food addictions. And I can tell you personally, living a healthy life without pain, without the fear of the next organ that's going to fail, it's worth it. So I hope my experiences and the experiences of all my clients and all the people around the world that have used my protocols, I hope that benefits you now. Use the free resources and take action, and let me know how you do. I can't wait to hear about your results. Let's make this the primary information that gets into those press headlines rather than just the next potential for a possible maybe cure based off of some genetic research that may or may not ever lead to anything different and won't give you the same benefit as actually changing the way you take care of yourself. I hope that helps. This is Dr. Brooke Goldner from Goodbye Lupus. I'll see you next time.